The twin suns hung low on the horizon, casting an ominous crimson pall across the irradiated wasteland. Jagged shards of plastcrete jutted from the cracked earth like the splintered bones of a fallen giant, grim reminders of the glory that once reigned on this forsaken world. Within the sheltered embrace of a ramshackle village, a young girl hummed an ancient melody as her deft fingers wove together strands of dried grass. Nearby, her brother studied the tarnished surface of a salvaged data slate, brow furrowed as he traced the indecipherable runes etched into its metallic housing. Their reverie was shattered by the anguished cough emanating from the solitary dwelling. Scrambling inside, they found their mother slumped against the wall, face etched in pain and glistening with fever's sheen. Her calloused hands reached out, beckoning them near with what little strength remained. No words were needed as she gently caressed their cheeks, imparting a lifetime of love and regret in those final, fading moments. Then, with one last rasping exhalation, she was gone, another casualty in humanity's brutal, centuries-long struggle for survival. The following dawn brought no solace, only the jeering taunts of the villagers as they branded the orphaned siblings as ill-omened burdens. Burdened with naught but the ragged shrouds upon their backs, the children were cast into the irradiated wildlands, a solitary path stretching towards an uncertain fate. For years they eked out a meager existence in the forest outskirts, the boy bartering salvage from his perilous scavenging runs for what meager sustenance the outlying hamlets could spare. Every foray risked confrontation with the hellish, mutated horrors that stalked the primordial woodlands in search of warm flesh to rend. It was on one such expedition that the boy's curiosity led him to the gnarled roots protruding from a glimmering metallic outcropping. With trembling hands, he hacked away the undergrowth until the cavern's awful majesty was laid bare. A towering sentinel of another age, its once magnificent alloy chassis now sundered and corrupted by time's relentless entropy. He knew the ancient stories, the hushed legends of the Iron Guardians that had once waged war across the stars. Could this decrepit colossus be one of the fabled war minds that had failed to protect their world? There was only one way to find out. By the time his sister arrived, the boy had already severed the last fibrous tendril snaking across the giant's inert form. With every ounce of their waning strength, they wrestled the multi-ton behemoth through the underbrush towards the sanctum of their forest hovel. That night, as the children lay shivering on their pile of salvaged cardboard, the groaning of protosteel haunches reawakened them with a start. Bathed in the crimson emergency lighting, the Guardian reared up, servos whining in protest as its head swiveled with predatory urgency, weapons extending, optics flickering to bloody life, only to vent atmosphere in a pulsing rasp of disappointment as its higher cognitive matrices failed to initialize. For now, it seemed, the once formidable war mind could impart little beyond its inscrutable presence. Come morning's light, it watched in mute observance as the duo rekindled its banked systems with deft fingers, teasing every last fabrication ergot from desiccated power cores. And as they worked, an unspoken understanding blossomed. An alliance forged not through words, but the instinctive drive to survive against all odds. For on this forsaken world, where the technology of demigods had been reduced to shattered artifacts, that singular purpose burned brighter than any forgotten legacy: to endure, to see the dawn of a new day, no matter how dire the nights that came before. When that vicious vigil was finally shattered by a feral monstrosity's bone-shaking bellow, the children turned in mute terror, only to behold the implacable war mind rising unsteadily onto its ruined limbs, autocannons spinning a thunderous litany of celestial fury as it vented a single Battaloo transmission, human threat neutralized,